The College of Business and Technology is where you will find some of UNK's best and brightest students. The entire team of faculty, administrators, and staff work hard to create an educational experience combining classroom learning, real-world exposure, and extracurricular opportunities. Associate Dean Dr. Bree Doherty brings her private sector background and her desire to have continuous improvement to the college, resulting in growth and a positive culture shift. She works with students as an instructor, advisor, and on special projects involving research and strategy. Her newest endeavor is learning more about the students through a series of individual interviews where she asks the questions and they tell their story. Thank you for joining us for Real Talk with Dr. Doherty.
Hey Ryan, thanks for catching up with me today. This is our first Real Talk with Dr. Doherty.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I have a couple questions for you. So you grew up in Kearney.
I did.
When you started looking at different colleges, what was important for you?
Yeah, I didn't really know what I wanted in college. Coming out of high school, I just knew you go to college, that's what you do after high school. But then as I kind of started looking into it and I realized how expensive college actually was, it really became clear the main thing was I wanted to make sure I was getting out of undergrad debt-free. So I was really looking at kind of the cost to what type of education I was going to be able to get.
So then why did you end up choosing UNK?
UNK was kind of fit that. I was able to find somewhere that I thought I was going to get a good education for a very reasonable price, and they also were really the one university that really was interested in me. So
you're a student athlete, and I was actually a former student athlete as well, and so I know the challenges of, you know, the athletic side plus trying to get all your coursework done, and so I'm curious, how are you handling all that?
It's been good. Yeah, it definitely took some getting used to. I was always very involved in high school, and I wanted to stay involved in college, and I definitely fell into the trap of overextending myself a little bit. That first year, you don't really know how much time practice is really going to take up.
So UNK overall is very proud of the low student-to-teacher ratio, and I'm wondering if you could talk about some of the experiences you've had that this has really helped you by having this low student-to-teacher ratio.
Yeah, for sure. I think you really see that just in like the relationships that you're able to make with your teachers. I know me personally, whenever I'm walking through the halls, I'm seeing all types of professors, even professors I haven't even actually had that know me by name.
So I know that you're involved in Enactus, which is our entrepreneurship student organization, and I know in that organization you guys do a lot of cool projects, and yeah. I'm wondering if you could maybe talk about your favorite project and why it's one of your favorite projects.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say my favorite project that we do is this project called New Venture Adventure. Every year we bring in high school students from all around Kearney, Nebraska, and they're really here for like a day-long entrepreneurial event where they pretty much learn how to start their own business. So they're broken up into teams with all people from different schools, so they don't know anyone in their groups coming in. I'd say that's my favorite because we actually help with that. All the Enactus members are split up and kind of lead the tables.
So here at UNK, you're, I think, in the best of both worlds. You're on a smaller campus, but we have a lot of great resources here at UNK. And I'm wondering what surprised you in terms of the resources that are available to you.
Yeah, I would say there's been a couple. I'd say one of the main ones has been the research that I've been able to do. I actually did some research over in the math department, and just really how excited a lot of the faculty seem to be. And then the other thing that I really didn't expect was all the traveling I've been able to do.
So can you talk a little bit about how your experience in the college has helped prepare you for the workplace?
It's just this expectation that's kind of been put there by the faculty as well as by the students that have come through before, that you're going to get your work done, you're going to get the job done. And I know that's played out personally in my job as I manage a golf course just south of town in the summers. And my boss has even pointed that out these last few years, that as I've grown up and really started to learn more in my classes and started to experience more, I've definitely seen more of a take charge and get the job done without having to be told to. And I think that's kind of the main thing you want to get out of the university before you head off into the workplace, is that you're able to get the job done when it needs to get done.
So, what's your most fun or memorable experience you've had here at UNK?
UNK, I would say for sure all the travel, especially the Enactus trips. Those were really fun, learned a lot, got to present all our projects, but also just getting to spend time with the team that you've worked all year with and really just bond with them.
So what are your plans for the future?
Right now, I'm kind of caught in the middle. I love finance. I love the idea of creating value and finding value. So I would love to be a CFO of a company one day, a chief financial officer, but I also want to come back and be a finance professor.
So my last question, you're from Kearney and you're here at UNK, and so what advice would you give to a Kearney High student?
Yeah, I would say the biggest piece of advice I have for Kearney High students is to not rule UNK out and not just dismiss it, because I know that was a big thing when I was graduating, that you went to UNK because you couldn't afford to go somewhere else or you were playing sports here. And I was in that same boat. I'd never considered coming to UNK growing up at Kearney High, but then as I really looked into it and have gotten here especially, and I just see how much the people care and how much you can actually learn here and all the opportunities that are presented with you, I think as a Kearney High student, if I could go back, I would take those visits a little more seriously and really consider UNK. Don't just kind of brush it off because it's in your hometown, for sure.
Very good. Well, thank you so much
thanks for having me.
Our first talk on.
I was actually hoping if I could ask you a few questions.
Sure.
If that's all right. All right, so what would be the one thing that you kind of look back on your college experience, and one thing you wish you would have done, taken advantage of more?
Taken advantage of more. I think I would have reached out to my professors. So I was at a college where there was, more students per classroom, but I was the student that was very timid, very shy in class. So I didn't reach out, and had I been at a smaller university, I might have reached out more. But now thinking back, I wish I would have spoken up in class.
And then last one, what brought you back to Kearney, and why are you teaching at UNK now?
So I actually, I grew up here in Kearney. I didn't really want to leave Kearney, and I was kind of, due to circumstances, I was a gymnast. UNK didn't have gymnastics, and so I went elsewhere. And then I went on and got my PhD, and there was no opportunity in Kearney, but I definitely looked. So I went to Colorado, and then once an opportunity here in Kearney opened up, I jumped on it and came back, and I'm really happy to be back in Kearney. So
awesome.
I love Kearney. It's simple, it's nice, it's easy, but you have a lot of opportunities, and you can still see the stars at night.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for having me on.
Thank you.